Hello guys, this is Wade, and today I'm gonna go over a really cool feature, man. This is one of my favorite features in the server, especially with the new configuration. It's called mount points. Mount points literally allow you to have multiple things happening from your server, from your station. You can have one signal playing for one type of device, one signal playing for another type of device. You can have something where you have different bit rates for different platforms. You can have, it's just a lot you can do. So today I'm going to show you how to basically go in and set up your mount points. Alright. First you want to do is you want to make sure you're on the overview page. Alright, when you first log in, this is the page you should be on. Once you do this, you go down to the settings. Go over to mount points, and here you should see your mount point. Now let's go into this setting here. This is your mount point. The mount point is basically if you're connecting your auto DJ or another source, it's going to connect to this mount point. So let me show you how to create a new one. Alright, now I must tell you, your mount points, you can have as many mount points as you want. The limitations will be the bit rate. How much bandwidth or bit rate do you have for your station? So just keep that in mind when you're creating these new mount points. When we get to the settings, you'll see it'll limit you as far as you create more mount points. If you have, for example, a total of 320 kilobits per second, as you create more mount points, it'll ask you what you want the bit rate to be, and it'll deduct it from your overall available bit rate. So if you are looking at doing mount points, and right now your main mount point is streaming at the maximum amount of bit rate that you have available, you may want to go into the main mount point, which is here, go down to your auto DJ settings, and you can control right here in the bit rate how much bit rate that particular mount point will have. So if you find yourself using up all your bit rate in your server, you can just bring the main one down to release more available bit rate for your other mount points you're creating. Alright, so let's create a new mount point. Let's go ahead and click on create, and once you click on create, you're going to see it started. It actually created another one here. If I go into settings, I can name this mount point whatever I want. What you don't want to do is you do not want to delete that /. I'm going to call this whatever I want. Let's see, I'm going to call this website. This will be my mount point for my website. Let's see. Alright, so now this is my mount point for my website. I'm going to go into Auto DJ settings. Now it's asking me, now with this particular mount point, are you going to use your Auto DJ, or are you going to use like an external source to kind of push the audio? So let's do this one. Let's use my Auto DJ for this one. Alright. What I want to call this mount point, let's call this website. Alright. Do I want this to be public? What that means is, when it says public, do I want this to be distributed through the networks, or do I want it just to remain on my websites? So sometimes this will be good where, let's say if you have a website, we have a membership-based website, and your members have access to exclusive content, audio content, interviews, stuff like that. What you would do is you would make this not public, because you don't want anyone else to hear that, right? However, if you want this signal to go out and be public where everybody can hear it on your website and everywhere else your station is being heard, click on yes. Now you have an option. Look at this. You have an option of what type of output do you want to put out on this particular mount point. That's the cool thing about these mount points, is that your signal, your server can be playing, for example, from your auto DJ, one song. Like right now it's playing this song here, and I can say on this particular mount point, instead of doing MP3, give me a different file name. Let's do OGG, because different files can have, for example, AAC is a good file. You can have an AAC file at a lower bit rate, and it'll sound as good as an MP3 at a higher bit rate. So For this particular one, let's keep it MP3 though. Now, it's asking what type of encoding do I want to do? Do I want to keep the constant bit rate for my encoding? Do I want to be variable based off the available bit rate? Or do I want to basically keep it a kind of an average kilobits per second? I'm going to do a constant. I want it to stay the same. Now I'm going to set my bit rate. What do I want that speed to be? The bit rate, or I should say quality, on my website people connect. Now, if I'm worried about people coming with slower internet connections, I can make my bit rate a little bit lower. Versus on the 128 or 256, maybe I'll say let's just make this a 96 kilobit per second, which is a decent speed to get a good quality. For people with slower internet, we'll be able to tune in and listen with no problem. Now it's asking me what channel. Am I doing stereo or am I doing mono? Let's do stereo. Now it's asking me the sample rate of this particular mount point. Now, the typical 44-100 is typically CD quality. You get lower into the hertz, you're dealing with AM quality. This is right here is like telephone quality. So, you can change all that. When you get up here into the higher quality, you're dealing with DVD and Blu-ray, all those high quality sounds. So you can play with it however you want, depending on where this is outputting. Let's say if this port is going directly to a phone line that people can call into, then you may want to make it lower. But 44.1 is really good. Now you got an advanced setting here. You can choose in the stereo mode what type of stereo you want. Do you want the default? Do you want stereo or joint stereo? Joint stereo basically puts the same left-right signal in both speakers. It's really balanced sound. Last thing, is this going to be a relayed URL? Now, in most cases, if you have your auto DJ setting set, you will probably not do this part. But if I switched over and said no mount point, I mean I'm using an external source, then my relay would come in handy because I can take a signal from a sister station or really anybody else that's streaming online. If you want to utilize with their permission their station for your station, all you need is the URL, the stream URL from them, and you can put it here, and it basically asks you what mode are you going to be in. Are you going to be in auto mode based off the CDN or the main output setting? Or are you going to be a slave as far as is your signal going to be the slave to that one? So I usually keep it on auto. Both of them on auto. Let's go back to, let me set myself back up for my auto DJ though. Alright, so I'm not going to relay on this one. Once I click on update, it's going to update it here. See that? Now it's there. Let me go back to it so I can show you what it did. Now you see that? Now that's the one I just created. Now, this signal will basically be playing my auto DJ on my mount point. Now let's say if I wanted to do it this way. Maybe I wanted this to be a totally different output. Maybe I wanted to use my own signal. I don't want to use the auto DJ. Maybe on my website, I just want to play something that is okay. This is a great opportunity for people that are like DJs, for example, and you want to do live broadcasting, but you don't want your main audience to hear this. Let's say if it's a exclusive members only type thing where you're either DJing or if you're having classes, life coaches or people that are doing things where you don't want to be public. You want to do a live signal. You don't want it to be public. You want it to be behind some type of firewall, if you will. I should say some type of protection for those who are members only to have access to it. And then we're going to go ahead and make this turn the auto DJ off. Going to update it. Let me show you how to set it up on your software here. Once you do that, all the information you need for your software to basically broadcast live, it's been in the quick links. You go down to quick links and go down, you're going to see a new mount point you created right here called website. Now, it's telling you if you want to stream. Now, again, this is when your auto DJ is not running, because when auto DJ is running, everything you created as far as all the mount points that are auto DJ controlled would use this information. Alright, Now, if your auto DJ is not running, this is where you'll use this information. You can have on one signal, right? For this mount point, you can have the one server broadcasting on this mount point, another server broadcasting on this mount point. You can have two different, it'll tell you all the information here, what you need, the host name, the port, and it's telling you right here where it says replace secret with the source password, followed by a colon, hash mark, the number 2. So that way it knows to connect to this particular mount point. But once you create the different mount points, you'll see them listed here, and you can use that to sync your software to broadcast live on that specific mount point only. So it's a really cool way if you, like I said, if you don't want the whole audience to hear certain live broadcasts, then you can actually, instead of doing it on your main mount point, which is here, which goes to, you know, everywhere this is, you can put it on your secondary or third mount point you created. The way it won't go to your main audience, but go to a special, separate audience. So, like I said, mount points are really cool, man. It lets you create some really cool things. But again, the only limitation you're going to have is your bandwidth. So, if you find that you need more bandwidth, then see if you can get more bandwidth by contacting your hosting provider, so they can increase your bit rate. That way you'll have the ability to create more mount points at a good quality. Alright guys, but that's basically how you would do your mount points, and how you would basically, once you create the mount point, how to utilize it within your live streaming software. Alright guys, thanks for watching.